Okay, so I'm Neil, and this is my first chance to properly have a real play on Dirt Rally 2.0 Rallycross. Of course, the official game of the World Rallycross Championship, which I am involved with most of the year round. So you've got the time trial or the championship itself as options of how to play. There's a lot of new tracks here. Got Silverstone, Barcelona, some classics like Montalegre, Hell, Loyac from the previous games, and Holius. But what have we got that's new? Well, of course, we've got the 2018 spec cars, new tracks. So yeah, Barcelona, the classic of Holius, Trois-Rivières, Canada. We haven't had that in a game yet. And Mete, of course, a track that most people think is a classic rallycross track, but actually is a converted motorbike track in Belgium. So let's try this out on time trial, which is probably where I'll spend most of my time, trying to get the perfect lap and failing most of the time because I am rubbish. But if you're going to choose a car to do it in, of course, choose the Volkswagen Polo of double world champion Johan Christoffersen. So there you go, converted from a motorbike track, mainly the Jules Tacheny circuit in Belgium. About 60% tarmac, 40% gravel. And so time trial means you don't use the traditional the recessed start line, you just do laps in your own time. So nice weather for us to do our first. This is Christoffersen's car. And here we go, so just in your own time, handbrake on, a little look around, different views, look at that. It's a gorgeous looking car. This is my preferred view. Handbrake off and a launch. Up through the gears, left down the big jump. Way. And listen to the sound as you go onto this really loose gravel. And it's so slippery, wow. That's really hard to control and rutted. Really rutted, and then dragging it out, and suddenly you can hear the brakes squealing as you get some grip on the tarmac. Oh, that's a very tight squeeze through that chicane. Oof. And back onto gravel again. Oh, there we go. Just nudged the tyres a little bit. It's funny because you can see that the rain has been gathering in the barriers there because it splashes onto the windscreen. Sideways, that was the joker lap off on the right. Now this is back on the start-finish straight. So up through the gears. Not quite flat out before you take that left-hander again down over the jump. So that's a full lap. But all the different surface changes, the different grips are incredible. And this car is very powerful and very, very hard to handle. It's much more of a sim than Dirt 4. Definitely the natural successor to Dirt. Oh no, I've hit the barriers. Dave and Phil, who do all the branding, won't be happy with me. And there we go. So I've hit the tyres. That's just too much for me to handle. It's very, very tricky, but great fun, and I'd imagine quite realistic. Okay, let's jump to an actual race situation then in the championship, a qualifying race. So let's see who I am up against. So it's qualifying 1, so there'll be 5 cars lined up on the start line. This is Barcelona Circuit Catalunya, another new track for Dirt Rally 2.0 in 2019. And let's go #Bakkerud Life. So this is the Audi.
Use the joker lap to your advantage. You only need to take it once. If you miss it, you'll get a time penalty.
You should listen to your spotter. He does sound a lot like me. That's because he is me. So let's jump in the Audi Quattro Rallycross car.
There's a long run onto the main lap here from the start line, so try and position your car as firmly and defensively as possible.
Okay, thanks Neil. Start line again. So this time you have to hold the handbrake in, get the revs
ready.
Fully up.
Go, go, go.
And then as soon as the lights go green, release the handbrake and off you go. Hard left-hander, that's my team boss and teammate, Matthias Ekstrom, up ahead. Wow, that's fast and powerful up through there. Now onto the gravel and almost no grip, ridiculous. It's very, very, very hard to control. Just about squeezing that through, over the jump. Oof. Getting it stopped to turn left and onto the tarmac. Long double apex left-hander up the hill. Now this is a real chance to stretch the legs of this car, the Audi. Will we get to flat out in 6th? Not quite. Have to brake. Long four-wheel drift all the way around, but got to be careful because it will tighten into a right-hander onto gravel. So remember, you will lose a lot of grip because suddenly it's gravel sliding sideways. Okay, now there's a handbrake left coming up, hairpin. Yep, did it. So that's a lap over the start finish line.
Pace is good, but we're not gaining. We need to be catching up to the back of them as soon as possible. Try and close up to the car ahead.
Yeah, no shit, Sherlock. What do you think I'm trying to do? Okay, so here we go. Back over the jump. All four wheels leave the ground. Oof, and then you have to slam on the brakes to make this left-hander. And then that's the joker lap off to the right. I'm not going to waste time doing that yet because I've got to try and catch the other guys. But look at the skies, the very, very Catalonian skies. Beautiful blue sky. And this is the tarmac of the Formula 1 circuit. So again, too complicated, too difficult for me. In fact, it's not me, it's John Armstrong, breathing heavily with the adrenaline of 1.5 laps of Barcelona circuit to Catalonia. Okay, let's have a look around. What else is new? Okay, so Trois-Rivières, Three Rivers in Canada. The Grand Prix of Trois-Rivières, GP3R, is where the championship goes now every year, has done for the last 4 years. So I thought I might choose the Subaru Atkinson because, of course, ARX, the America's Rallycross, went there last year. So let's see how we can cope with this circuit. Now this is a mixture of street circuit, racetrack and horse trotting track. You see it goes in the infield there. It's the Hippodrome, hippo being Greek for horse. So let's have a look. This is a brilliant track. One of the fastest and also slowest at parts of the entire season. But I've not had a chance to drive this Subaru before. The STI, the new one, they were driving in 2018 in ARX. So let's have a look. Look at the rendering of the weather. It's beautiful. Slightly obsessed with weather. And the Art Deco building there on the left. But let's there's the car, as you can see, the Aussie battler Atco, and we're about to jump into it. So again, this is time trial, so I'm not racing against anyone, and I don't have to listen to any spotter nonsense. I'm just got to try and dial in as neat and tidy a lap as possible. So, turn 1, long right-hander, then it's a very tight right-hander. Okay, just slightly using the barriers, but that's okay. First jump, yeah, okay, not too bad, but then on the brakes. Now this feels very different to the 2 circuits we just did. This is a very rutted, thick, sort of wet gravel, almost muddy sand, and you can feel how little grip it offers. It's amazing. You can feel yourself bouncing over the ruts, and then we're back onto a sort of dirty tarmac here, sort of street circuit style. Very tricky double apex right-hander, and now time to floor it because this is the longest straight in the championship. We should hit the limiter. Listen. Yeah, on the limiter, but don't get greedy because you do need to put the anchors on to make it around that right-hander. And then we've done a lap, so that's 1 full lap. Relatively tidy, actually. I'm getting the hang of this. The Subaru's... Oh, okay, so maybe a bouncing off there. Or maybe lost it over the jump now. Okay, so... but there you go. Okay, well, a little look around the car, a little look inside the car. Let's have a little mosey on through the Joker lap. And so there you go. That's my little guide to the brand new Rallycross parts of Dirt Rally 2.0. And as you can see, the surface change and actually the surface damage, the way the surface will adapt and evolve, is clearly marked when you do a few donuts. Thanks for watching. Look out for the other video about the rally side of things. Thanks.